What's going on? What's going on, Patriots? You just locked in the Hood Politics, where we always keep it 100. I'm your host, Jay, and y'all already know on this channel we cut straight through the BS and get straight to the issues and the policies that hit us close to home. We talk about everything from elections to national debates, all the way up to political podcasts. We throw some pop culture in there and some comedy every now and again, because all politics all the time will give you brain rot. And we start each and every one of them off. I know I haven't been doing it lately, so I'm going to get back to it. We start each and every one of them off sending out our thoughts and prayers, you know what I'm saying? And I want to send out my thoughts and prayers to the lady that got her life taken by ICE yesterday, you know what I'm saying? We know the truth. We're going to get into that later, but still, any loss of life is a tragedy, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to put her and her family in our thoughts and prayers, Patriots, you know what I'm saying? But, yo, we got to get right into this, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk about what's going on with this Ninth Circuit Court ruling, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to dive straight into it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Ninth Circuit Court, they acting like they own us, man. They acting like they own our bodies, you feel me? And they trying to use some old ass law from 1905 that say if the government even thinks a medical move is good for the collective, then your individual rights straight out the window. Straight out the window, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from the hood, born and raised, Chicago, Minnesota, the Twin Cities, born and raised in the hood. So let me tell you something. I know a hustle when I see one. You can't hustle a hustler, man. And see, this is where they get you at. They ain't even checking to see if any of this crap do what the government say or the people say it do. You feel me? So if a treatment doesn't stop you from catching something or passing it on, calling it a public health risk is just another way for them to bypass our rights. It's just another way to bypass our rights, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about self-sovereignty, yo. If we don't own our own skin, we don't own nothing. I don't care what your name is on. If we don't own our own skin, we don't own nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm rambling, man. Let's get into this. And y'all know I can't read, and it's early. So we ain't gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Melanie King for bringing this to the forefront, man. Ain't nobody too much talking about this, and this went undetected, man. And this is setting a danger. If the Supreme Court don't shut this down, man, this is going to set a dangerous precedent, yo. You know what I'm saying? But it says, a federal court quietly ruled that the government can force any medical intervention on you with no evidence or judicial reviews. Almost no one noticed. The Ninth Circuit Court said as long as officials say public health, courts shouldn't question them. But we just fought back. This is shout out to the Health Freedom Defense Fund. This is a letter off their page. They the ones who caught this. You know what I'm saying? Where was I at? It say, but we just fought back. We just petitioned the Supreme Court to review this unprecedented ruling. This may become the most consequential Supreme Court case of the 21st century. And indeed, facts. That's facts right there. This case is not just about the COVID crisis, says HFDF president and founder Leslie Manookian. Sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, but that's what it looked like, Manookian. It's about the future of liberty in America. Nicole Shannon called the Ninth Circuit's ruling terrifying And she's right. The Ninth Circuit Court ruling threatens to make COVID era tyranny the new norm. Yeah, yeah. Nah, see, we can't let, no. I ain't gonna even stunt with you, man. I don't care. I care, but I don't care, man. Don't show up to my door. Period. Ever. I got no trespassing signs all the way up and down my driveway, on my house, everything. Don't step onto my property if you know I'm supposed to be on here, man. And ain't nobody from the government supposed to be on my property talking about putting nothing in my arm, because it ain't gonna happen. You feel me? It's not gonna happen, yo. That's crazy. Now I got this the video pulled up, man. They
Great.
talking
Well,
about.
did
Let's
you
see
hear
what they
about what
talking about.
happened for Health Freedom Defense Fund last week? I don't know if you're aware of this.
No, I'm not too familiar with your organization. I've heard a little bit about it, but yeah, tell us, share.
So I mentioned that we had sued the Los Angeles Unified School District in 2021. Well, we sued them twice in 2021, because first we sued them over mandating the shot when it was EUA. And then they basically duped the court into believing that they weren't going to issue a mandate because they had repealed their first one, rescinded it. And then so the court dismissed the case and said, look, there's nothing for us to adjudicate at this point. The case is no longer ripe. We're not going to deal with it. We're dismissing the case. 17 days later, LAUSD implemented a new mandate saying that employees could not test, and it fired, a couple of weeks later, 500 employees. It went on to fire or displace more than 1,000 in total. And it denied, it said, well, we accept your religious exemption or your medical exemption, but they refused to accommodate them. So they pushed them out. People were pushed out. No pensions. They lost their seniority. They lost everything. They were fired. They lost their jobs. I mean, it was really outrageous. So we filed another lawsuit in November of 2021. And in this case, we argued that the shots do not stop transmission or infection. And we knew this because CDC said that in late July of 2021. And CMS confirmed that. Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services confirmed that in, I believe it was October of 2021. And so if they don't stop transmission or infection, we argued, then they are not a public health issue. They are therapeutic. They are a private matter, and they must be treated as such. We also argued that natural immunity is real, and that the Supreme Court case from 1905 called Jacobson versus Massachusetts doesn't apply, because Jacobson was predicated on the Supreme Court's assumption that the smallpox vaccination was safe and effective because it had been in use for many, many years. Now, I will leave that aside because I don't think it was safe or effective, but that's what people claimed, and that's what the court accepted.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, we ended up doing super well. At first, it got dismissed. Then we had a fantastic argument in front of a 3-judge panel in the Ninth Circuit on appeal, and they found in our favor. And then there was what's called an en banc review, meaning a broader review of the Ninth Circuit. And usually it takes 9 to 10, 12 months to get a ruling, an opinion, or a decision out of the Ninth Circuit. It took 3 months to get their decision this time. And they ruled against us last Thursday, July 31st. And they said that all that mattered was that there was a public health emergency. I don't think that's true. We actually argued that COVID was not smallpox. Smallpox had a 30% death rate. We knew already by the time when LAUSD mandated their shot that the death rate was in line with the seasonal flu. It was absurd. It was not it was not an emergency anymore. We knew from the spring of 2020 that 4% of Los Angeles County residents had already been exposed and recovered. Literally 4% in April, May of 2020. This was known a year in advance. It means everybody's been exposed practically at that point by August of 2021. And so we argued it's not the same thing, and therefore Jacobson does not apply. And the court said it doesn't matter whether or not the shot stops transmission or infection. All that matters is that the school district could have assumed that it did.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yes, it is, Nicole.
That's a terrifying precedent. Are there any appeals available?
We can appeal to the Supreme Court, and so we're considering.
And by
Yo, that's crazy. That is insane, man. That's insane, man. So basically, it's whatever the person in the suit says it is today. That's so right now, if they want to say the flu is a public health crisis, they can mandate everybody to take the flu shot. It looks like as of right now, because the circuit court ruled in it. So they finna take it up to the Supreme Court. And most likely it's gonna get overturned. You know what I'm saying? But that's a slippery slope that leads to the government knocking on your door for every little thing. For every little thing, the government will be knocking on your door. Especially if it's a leftist, radical, whack-ass government like we had with the Biden administration. They'll be knocking on your door. My people were scared because they was literally talking about sending out people to your door to try to convince you and ask you to get to take the vaccine. I'm like, man, listen. I ain't gonna repeat what I said, but no, everybody around me was praying that nobody showed up at my door talking about no vaccine, because I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it then, I ain't having it now, and I ain't gonna have it in the future. And I'm being honest with you, I don't give a care what you mandate, I don't care who mandated, I don't care if it's a super Trump administration, I don't care if it's a raggedy ass radical left administration, I don't care what you mandate. If I don't feel like my life is in danger, because I knew something with that COVID, it was, don't take up all the masks, don't run out and buy all the masks, and then all of a sudden it's, or you gotta wear a mask, and then now you wear 2 masks, and like what? Get the man. Now look it up, and you could go look on your granny's bottle. Go in one of your grandma houses. You know what I'm saying? Go find one of them old ass Pine Sol bottles that still got some Pine Sol in it, and look on the back of that. It say, will stop coronavirus. And that bottle is 40, 50 years old. So coronavirus ain't nothing new. Now the different strains of it, that's something, Congress got to deal with the Wuhan lab and all that crap. You know what I mean? I ain't finna go into that or none of that. But all I'm telling you is the coronavirus is basically a version of the common cold and the flu and pneumonia. And they had people out there running, fighting for tissue, raping the stores dry. Just, oh my goodness, man. It was horrible. It was horrible. And that just right there, just from that COVID experience in them big cities, from that COVID experience in them big cities, do y'all think y'all can handle the Civil War? You don't got enough supplies. For the flu, for a very harsh version of the flu or pneumonia, you raped all your stores dry of everything that was stupid as hell. Well, they ain't stock up on no food, bro. They ain't stock up on no food, bro. They stocked up on toiletries. Like How much do you and your family use the bathroom a day, man? Where y'all have to Well, it's people right now. You can go on Facebook Marketplace, and it's people right now today still trying to get rid of their toiletries that they did they stupid ass stock up on. People had garages of tissue. Garages filled with tissue and toilet paper. Yo, man. But yeah, yo, this is a slippery slope, man. You know what I'm saying? So we need judges who respect the hustle. We need judges who respect the hustle, man. And the individual, and do not overreach on the state, baby. You know what I'm saying? Do not. Don't let these people overreach on the people. So we got a conservative Supreme Court. So I think we're gonna be good. I think we're gonna be good. So on that note, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay from Hood Politics checking in, and now I'm checking out, y'all. Y'all know how we do it.